Yeah, man. So, tell me what's been going on?
So after starting the course, going through that with you, that side of it, um, we always kind of knew there was a demand for BMS panels because obviously the business were a heating company, and we do a lot of commercial kind of products, and we've all been in a position where it's somebody else coming in to do the workforce on the BMS side. So we knew there was
Yeah.
scope for us, and scope is kind of growing arms and legs as we speak. I'm currently out at the BMS panel just now, where it's obviously failed. They've got two in the hotel that have failed that we're going to have to now replace. So I'm just trying to get them temporarily, kind of some fans running for them for their extraction just now. Um, I've done four other panels so far across kind of heating, ventilation, stuff like that. So yeah, it's kind of
Okay.
growing arms and legs. But what I kind of really wanted to speak to you is more about the variable temperature circuits,
Yeah.
and also then kind of broadening knowledge of PLC programming and what's best to probably kind of do that and learn from that side of it. We've started using, I came across Siemens logo PLCs. There's
Yeah.
lots of stuff online with them for kind of help, stuff like that. So I bought one and faffed about with it, and I have kind of built just a wee boiler sequencer for twin boilers to swap over for kind of master and slave. If
Okay.
one faults out, then the other one kicks in. Um,
Mm.
Also, if if there's kind of insufficient heat getting developed, it'll bring the other boiler on. It's kind of backup just to kind of keep the operation as low as possible. So, yeah, I've done a couple of them. I'm about to do another one with a wee logo PLC for it's to be connected into a wood burning stove back boiler, to
Yeah.
actually run all the thermostats for that and then knock off an electric boiler once it starts to get to temperature, and running that
Okay.
way side of it. But
That's cool.
there's loads of other PLCs out there, and obviously you've kind of, I think it's Zenio and Loctron that you kind of use a lot of. So I was just looking to see what what benefits, what sort of stuff. I kind of spoke to Zenio, but they don't really do any training as such with it. So there's not so much online help with them. So that's why I had to kind of look at the Siemens logo PLCs for it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, so we can I can get into that. I can share some sort of perspectives on that and like how you get into the sequencing. We can talk about like the variable temperature circuits as well.
Mhm.
Just what's your background, Gavin? Are you like you're a heating engineer by trade, electrical engineer, mechanical? Like, and what's your
So
position at the business?
I'm a heating engineer. But in the past I've done a bit of mechanical and electronic systems prior to kind of becoming a heating engineer at
Yeah.
college. So I've got a bit of a kind of background, but that was about 22 years ago now. Um, so it was since then it's just kind of heating engineer, and it was predominantly domestic for a while, and then we started doing biomass, which led us into the commercial environment. So it's now a lot of commercial gas, commercial properties that we're kind of working on.
And
And
what's
it
your
just,
position in the business again?
I'm the service manager of the business. So I look after
Okay.
the service team, but I'm still also out on tools when something kind of goes disastrously
Yeah.
wrong. I'll come out, and also now it's the more kind of BMS function, but this is now taking up more of my time by the looks of it. So it's kind of what I hoped it would go for. So yeah.
That's cool. And so, like when we first started talking, I think you mentioned it. Like you guys were like branching into commercial,
Yeah.
um, and more like BMS controls
Yep.
focused. What
Mhm.
was kind of like stopping you then from going down that route back when we were speaking?
Um, it was really getting the knowledge, because nobody would really want to share the knowledge with you from BMS contractors because it was a bit of a closed shop, to be honest with you.
Mm.
Um, so that's where we kind of saw it when I would we put in for a tender recently for a very big project actually for biomass boilers to go in, and as part of that, there's obviously a BMS panels that are going in, and I was seeing quotes of I'll sub it up to my personal. The one is in for 75 grand. And we're kind of looking at it and going, we could actually do that ourselves. And it's
That was 75K, that project, was it?
yeah. So there's
Yeah.
been So it's getting started next year, and the site want us to kind of go with it. Because they're desperate for using us, because we've looked after the site for long and weary, and they want us to be able to do it. So they're kind of giving us our backing to kind of go and get on with it. So yeah.
That's amazing, man. Yeah. And
Yeah,
so,
so I mean that's just one of them. So I mean I say because of the work that we do, we're walking into a lot of plant rooms where the boilers are getting upgraded and nobody's ever thought about the control side of it really. And some of these BMS panels are they're ancient.
from
So
the
you started my
80s.
conversation. Yeah, absolutely. When I'm standing in front of one just now that they had a power cut, the power came back on, has caused a power surge in the hotel and taken out
Yeah.
a pile of equipment. The PLCs are gone on it, and nobody's got any information, anything of it, what it actually does or where it runs. And so so just temporarily trying to get these fans and boilers back on just now, and then work
Yeah.
on new control panel for them to get them back up and running properly.
What, are you going to refurb it, are you?
I'll probably just do a new panel for it, to be honest with you.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, yeah. So you back then, like you did it. I know it's very like a closed shop, black art kind of like knowledge hoarders don't want to share the skills. So it's kind of just the understanding then to, and was it so you guys ultimately can bring all of this in-house? You
Yeah,
know, the
absolutely. Yeah,
controls, project
yeah,
delivery, support as well.
absolutely. Yeah. I mean,
That
that's
was
the
the
whole
goal of the
that's the whole
business.
beauty of it is we would like to be able to kind of bring in I look after the service team, so I will be able to kind of have the ability of myself, my service team to be able to work on control panels. If we
Why
could
was
be
that important though? Like, why did you want to do that?
if we are as a business, then if we can offer an all-round shop to our customers, that if the heating breaks down or something fails on it, then we can actually fault find on it. We can find out what's gone wrong with it and effect the repairs on it, instead of turning up as a heating engineer and going, yeah, your boiler's actually fine, but it's something in the background that we don't know what we're doing with here. It gives, I personally think, a kind of not great impression to customer that's, well, I'm paying you already to come out and look at it, and you're telling me the boiler's fine, it's something else. So where do I go with this now? And then it's trying to get a BMS contractor out that's
Right. Is that
yeah,
was the process you were going
yeah,
through previously then?
absolutely, yeah.
Mm. So, like, because it was just you that kind of went through the training and the program that we got,
Yep.
and then that's flowing down to your team, is it? Like you're kind of like training your guys that you manage?
Well, not at the moment because I've not had time yet, but that is the plan of it is actually to get our guys a little bit more kind of scaled up. I don't expect them to be designing panels and building them, but to get them to a stage where they can actually go out and fault find and look at it,
Yeah.
and take it from there. Popular demand. Yeah.
What's it helped you with specifically so
It
far?
really just I've always had a kind of understanding of how they've kind of operated, but the actual then going and building them and looking at that side of it was obviously the kind of slightly more kind of daunting part of it.
Right.
And it was just getting through the looking at it to actually go and, you know, it always looks like rocket science when you've got all the cables and all the contactors and all the
Yeah.
relays. You know, so it looks, for somebody to open it up, it looks absolutely bloody horrific. But once you
Yeah.
actually start to get the confidence of what's what and where it goes, and you're kind of looking at it, then it starts to make sense. And that's where going through, and obviously the program that you kind of did, to allow people to start understanding from the wiring schematics into actually the kind of building and designing. That's what kind of needs to be done. Yeah.
Have you been through all of it?
I've not been through the business development side yet. Um,
The
and
technical though. You
yeah,
mean
but the actual kind of the design, the builds, and the schematics, yeah. But a
yeah.
lot of it as well kind of makes sense to me. Obviously, as you're going through the types of things with the kind of pumps, the pressurization units, the boilers, that that's what I work with on a day-to-day basis. So somebody that maybe not had that background of that sort of stuff, then I can see why it could be slightly harder, but it kind of makes sense, that side of it already, for the heating BMS side of it. So yeah, it's
Well, I'm pleased to hear that, mate. Yeah. What projects have you? Because I think it's probably been about 9 months since you joined us. I think
Mhm.
roughly.
Yeah, it's about 8, 9 months. Yeah. Yep.
What in that time frame? What projects have you delivered? Like you mentioned that one a second ago, and I
So
think you,
yeah,
you
well,
mentioned
we're in the
someone.
process of kind of that really big one. That's just in the design stage at the moment. So that's going to be kind of next year before that kind of gets done. But I've done one. So we've done one at a school. So there's a private school that got closed down. We work for a kind of children's home. That bought the school and opened it up, and they had a couple of boilers in it. Nothing was controlled any way, shape, or form. There was no gas detection, no solenoids on the gas lines and everything. So just to bring that
Wow.
up to, as a kind of gas engineer, going looking in the kind of plant room, finding the faults, and then obviously going, well, this needs to be done, this needs to be done, this needs to be done, and also, well, we might as well just do it properly and put the controls in for it.
Yeah,
Then
yeah,
kind of done that. We've done a couple of other kind of plant rooms, just kind of small plant rooms, couple of boilers, couple of pumps, um, gas solenoids, oil solenoids, fire valves and stuff like that. So it's all heating stuff that we're kind of doing. That's what the company is. So yeah, but
yeah.
that's
Oh, nice, man.
4 or 5 projects, kind of proper, kind of half decent
Yeah,
projects, been done now. So yeah.
and that is that big one that you mentioned was the 75K one. That's the next year one, is it?
Yeah, that's going to be starting next year. But in the meantime, I've got 2 in this hotel that kind of need to be redone. I was actually out at another site yesterday, that has their panel has failed on them as well. The boilers are as old as the hills, so we're ring coating for the
Yeah,
boilers. And the panel's dead, so they're sitting without any heating and hot water at the moment. So again,
shit. Yeah,
that's
coming up
that's
to
another one
winter.
we've kind of quoted for. So yeah, so I'm going to be a very, very busy boy at the moment. So yeah.
What's the average value of these smaller projects, like the kids' school and the plant room
So
ones?
the kids' school, I charged, it was 15 grand it came in at.
Okay,
So I mean,
and that,
it's not kind of small beans. And the other ones, I think we kind of did it was kind of built in 'cause the sales manager kind of priced it all out on that side of it, the surveyor, and I think it was about 6.5 grand for the kind of
okay,
boiler stuff for the kind of smaller ones. So yeah.
yeah. Oh, good man. Oh, it's good to see you getting a return on the investment, though.
But yeah. I mean, I always kind of knew that there's scope for it. And it's then just getting the confidence kind of to be able to do it, because it's all fine and well, turning and just going, I'm going to do this, but you kind of need some sort of a little bit of knowledge behind you before you kind of go gung ho into it. So yeah.
Yeah, to like just I talk to guys about it's a confidence thing, like a confident transfer of confidence to
Mhm.
the client, like yourself, but like transferred to the client that you can help them, you will help them sort it
Yeah, yeah.
out. What part of like the program would you say has helped you the most? Like in the topics that you mentioned earlier, is there any specific things that stick out that you feel help you the most?
Um, I think it was more just the actual building of it, and the actual kind of the initial wiring of it, the kind of schematics of it, working through the schematics. Because once you've got your head round that, then it's ultimately just painting by numbers.
Yeah,
It's not a hard thing
no.
to do. Um, and it's far easier than kind of trying to weld up gas pipes or kind of press 6-inch gas pipes together, and there's a lot less kind of hard work with it. So yeah, it's pretty good. Quite
Yeah,
therapeutic standing with the kind of board on the wall, just kind of wiring it up. So yeah.
and like you touched on earlier, because I've had the same feelings where you get sent to site. I was a service engineer back in the day, and it's an electrical controls fault, and you open up the panel, and it's a mess, and like it's an instant spike of adrenaline and anxiety, and you're like, oh, you just want to kind of close it up. Like, do you feel like you've got a better understanding now of like perhaps
Oh,
breaking
oh,
things down, the
absolutely.
fault
Yeah.
finding?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you can. now that you can understand how it works, then it's actually quite easy to fault find through them. And that's I guess the kind of the beauty of it, is to be able to kind of do that. So yeah,
Cool.
but
All right, mate.
but in the background, I mean, I've been a service engineer for long and weary as well now. So when I'm kind of used to walking into disasters of plant rooms, disasters of houses with kind of no heating, and you're trying to fault find through other folk that have kind of bodged something together and try to get it wrong. So the fault finding is just, yeah, taking your time, looking at it and having the
Yeah.
kind of thought why it's not working, and looking to see what it is. So yeah.
It's staying logical, isn't it? But
Yeah.
the difficult thing is when you don't have the understanding or confidence, like the emotional side comes in, and then you
Yeah.
can't really think through things
Yeah.
logically, and it just yeah, it's not a nice state to be in.
No. But it's one of these things, take your time with it. But if you know the sequence of operation, I think that sometimes
Yeah,
helps as well with working in a with boilers and in plant rooms. You understand what the sequence of operation is. So it makes it easier to fault find if something isn't happening. If you've got that knowledge of how something works, when you put probably if you were to put me into a plant room or factory with they've got belt drives and all the rest of it that's getting controlled by kind of panels and things like that, I probably wouldn't be as good at it because I don't know how the system operates there. So I'm kind of sitting in a position where this is what we do as a business, as a heating company, that I know how it should work, so therefore, if it's not working in that way, it's easier
yeah,
to kind of find out what goes wrong. Yeah,
yeah. If you know how it should work, you know
yeah,
like what's
yeah,
then.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it makes sense. Like just final thing that I'm curious to understand, man. Like if another heating engineering business was like watching this conversation, or like another service manager that were looking to do a similar thing to what you guys have done, like bringing controls in house, like
Mhm.
what what advice would you give them?
I would say don't do it and just phone me, and we'll come out and do it for you.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
piece of advice. Okay.
I'll take your money and I'll help you out, but yeah, don't do it because I want your money instead of you getting it. Yeah.
That's fair dues. Cool. All right, mate.